everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As I am filming this right now, I am currently 32 weeks pregnant, and I am feeling every single one of those weeks. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Ciera, and like I said, I'm currently 32 weeks pregnant, and I am pregnant with a baby boy who is technically due April 11th. However, because I had a C-section, an emergency C-section with my daughter, who is going to be 2 in May, we are planning to try for a VBAC if I go into labor on my own before 39 weeks. But if we get to 39 weeks, we are going to be having a repeat scheduled C-section around that time, probably a couple days after I turn 39 weeks, because my weeks turn over on Saturdays. But I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a quick little rundown. If you're brand new to my channel, if you've never watched any of my videos before, that's the situation that I am currently in. So I am going to be sharing all my stats and symptoms and all of that in this pregnancy update. So I'll go ahead and get started with how much I weigh. And this morning I weighed in at 137.2 pounds, which I think is like a 1 pound weight gain from the last pregnancy update I did, because I do them every 2 weeks, and at 30 weeks I think I was 136.2 or 0.4 or something like that. But I am 137.2 today, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what the baby looks like right now according to my apps that I'm using, and the rough estimate size of the baby as well. So I currently use the Bump app and the Pregnancy Plus app. I've been using that my entire pregnancy, and I get a little newsletter in my email from the Bump, and it says that the baby is roughly the size of a squash, which I never feel like the Bump's like measurements of like what size the baby is compared to like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that is ever really accurate towards the end, because that doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, the Bump says that the baby's about the size of a squash, and the quick little facts it gives me are baby's getting ready for his or her descent and is likely in the head down position, and baby is probably feeling even more cramped, which duh, yeah. I think we all feel that here. And then on the Pregnancy Plus app, I think it's really cool they have this feature where they can show you like 3D what the baby looks like. This is like actual size. Like if you were to hold the baby up against like your phone, that would be about the actual size of the baby. And according to the Pregnancy Plus app, it says that he's around 17.2 inches and roughly 4.2 pounds. Okay, so I'll be honest, when I usually do these pregnancy updates, I write down like all of my symptoms like in my phone for each week. But I just feel like these past couple of weeks, I can't be bothered to do anything more than I absolutely need to be doing. I'm just getting so just like worn out from being pregnant. And the thought of me having to like write down every little symptom and feeling and stuff like that is just like, I don't feel like doing it most of the time, so I end up not doing it. So this is probably gonna be just like a brain dump pregnancy update, me just trying to recall everything that I've been feeling and going through the past couple weeks, which has actually been quite eventful. But I will share with you guys the first, not this past week, but the week before, I still was writing some things down. And one of the things that I wrote down was that I'm having a lot of heart palpitations, and I feel like I've mentioned this before, but it's just like, I wouldn't say it's all the time, but it's like when I'm moving a lot or when I'm doing a lot of activities back to back, even just like in the mornings when I'm getting breakfast ready for people and getting myself ready and changing Anastasia's diaper, like it gives me heart palpitations sometimes just because I'm trying to do so much in such a short amount of time. So that has been something that has been really frustrating to deal with, because I have to like take a second and like, usually what helps me is like if I obviously stop what I'm doing and I kind of like lean over on a countertop or something, and it sounds so dramatic. Like I really try not to be one of those pregnant girls who just like complains about everything or seems like I'm not grateful to be pregnant, because I've been on the side of like the TTC process where it's hard to get pregnant and you would do anything to have a baby. So I get that. So I try really hard to not complain about a lot, but once you're at the stage of pregnancy that I'm in, it's like, it's really hard. So yes, I've been having heart palpitations a lot. I also put that I am hungry a lot. I mentioned this the last pregnancy update. My appetite is finally increasing, which is crazy to me, because this pregnancy, for whatever reason, like the first half I wasn't really like that hungry at all, which is crazy. But ever since I hit my 3rd trimester, I've been a lot more hungry, and I want a lot more like foods that are not the best. Luckily, I haven't really been, I don't want to say bad, because I don't like referring to how you're eating as bad, just not, I haven't been making unhealthy choices as much as I did with my daughter. Like, when I was pregnant with Anastasia, we were having second dinners. I've said this before if you've watched my pregnancy updates before, but for those of you that are new, when I was pregnant with my daughter, we would have like second dinner every night, and second dinner was not healthy at all. It was usually like pizza rolls, chicken nuggets, or Johnny would go and get me a Frosty with French fries. Like, that was like 4 or 5 times a week that we would do that at this stage of my pregnancy with her. And that has not happened at all. We've only gone out to get fast food like once or twice, which is really good in my opinion. I'm really happy about that. Regardless, I am still just so, like, I'm just hungry and I want foods like burgers and like Doritos and like breakfast sandwiches and milkshakes and just stuff like that. I'm also at the lovely point in pregnancy where it's hard, like, it's been this way for a while, but now especially shaving anything below, like anything that's not my armpits. Oh boy, my legs are not that bad, but shaving my undercarriage is just a freaking joke right now. Like, it's so hard, and I'm not someone, like, I'm all for if you want to be all natural and grow it out. Like, I'm not judging you at all. If I could do that, I totally would. But for me personally, I don't like being fuzzy. It's really itchy to me and it's super uncomfortable. So I don't like to grow stuff out down there. So I have to keep up with shaving like twice a week, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's an Olympic sport at this point because I cannot, like, I have to try and hold my belly back as much as I can, and it's at the point where I cannot suck in my stomach very far anymore because this baby's gonna be here soon and there's nowhere else for him to go. Like, I can't suck him back into my body. The whole shaving thing has just been, like, the mentality that I go into it with is like, it's only gonna take 5 minutes. I just gotta like power through it. And I also just tell myself, I'm just gonna do the best that I can. It's not gonna be perfect, but that's fine. As long as I'm more comfortable, that's all I care about. And then another thing that I put down is that I've definitely noticed that my lips are getting so plump. Like, and I'm not mad about it. Like, I honestly wish that my lips stayed this plump after I'm done being pregnant, but that's not the case. So that's everything that I actually wrote down, but I'll just try and recall the things that I've been feeling and going through just like on my own. And one thing is that I absolutely hate wearing clothes right now. Like, I cannot stand wearing clothes. The only reason I'm wearing something somewhat nice, I wouldn't even call this nice, but it's just not like pajamas, is because I'm filming this video. Like, before this I was wearing workout clothes, and I will say that I'm still working out, and I'll get to that in a second, but normally I am wearing just like leggings, Nike shorts, a t-shirt, things like that, because I cannot be bothered with clothes right now. And something I love, if you're pregnant, a little fun tip is that like the Nike running shorts, like the ones that are kind of like loose but they have the built-in underwear, are so perfect when you're pregnant because you don't have to fuss with actual underwear. Like, the underwear is just built into the shorts, and that's why I love wearing those. I wear those probably 5 days a week because they're just so comfortable, and I don't have to worry about them falling off. I don't have to worry about underwear riding up or riding down or any of that stuff. Like, they have the built-in little underwear situation in there, and they're super comfy, and if you work out, you're already set for your workout clothes for the day. That's what I've been wearing. I have not worn a real bra and I don't even know how long. I'm wearing a sports bra right now because, like I said, I work out most days, and on top of that, I cannot be bothered with underwire at all right now because all it does is just dig into my chest. So I'm very grateful that I don't have to wear, well, I shouldn't say very grateful. I mean, anybody can choose not to wear a real bra, but I feel like if I was working like a desk job or something like that, I would probably put on a normal bra. But luckily, since I am a stay-at-home mom, I don't really have to worry about people wondering if I'm wearing a real bra or not. Not that people actually do, but you get what I'm saying. Sleeping has become, oh my gosh, just not even, like, normally I feel like when you think about sleep, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to bed tonight. I can't wait to have like a restful slumber. But sleeping is just like, I still feel that way. Like, I can't wait to lay down at the end of the day and eventually go to sleep. But it's like, falling asleep is starting to get a little bit harder because I'm really uncomfortable. Staying asleep is absolutely impossible. I have not slept completely through the night in I don't even know how long because I get up to pee at least 3 times a night, which is super fun. And then another thing, which I've said this before, is that I keep getting these night sweats, and it's so uncommon for me because, like I've said a million times before, I'm sorry if this is so repetitive to some people who have been watching every single one of my updates, but I just want to put it out there because these are things that I'm actually experiencing, and if you're like coming to my channel for the first time, I want to share this as well. But I have been sweating like every other night. I wake up in just a pool of sweat, and I have to take like my shirt off because it's just like, it's literally dripping in sweat. And I'm not someone that is normally like that. Like, I don't get hot very easily. I love being warm. I love the heat. I usually am very cold most of the time. I usually always have to wear socks or put on like a jacket or something like that. Like, I love sitting out in the sun. Not that I do it very often because I'm super pale and I don't really like to get a sunburn, but the feeling of the sun on my skin feels good to me, and I know some people don't like that. So anyways, all that to say, I've been really sweaty in the middle of the night, and that has been not fun for me trying to fall asleep. Okay, so the next two things, or the next three things I will talk about, are like kind of the biggest things that have happened over the past couple weeks, and most of it has just been in the past week. So the first thing is that, again, this is gonna be repetitive for those of you that are like loyal subscribers and watch every single video that I post. So I'm sorry if you have to hear this again, but I'll try and make it short and sweet and to the point. Last weekend on Saturday was our baby moon. We planned to have like a mini baby moon. We didn't really like go very far. We just drove about an hour into Orlando and stayed at Sapphire Falls, which is at Universal. And I was lucky enough to be able to schedule a prenatal massage before we went to Sapphire Falls. So I was super excited for this massage. I've never had a prenatal massage, and in my body I could tell just really needed it, and it still does. But as soon as I got into the massage, 2 or 3 minutes into it, I don't even know how long. It was seriously like, it felt like so short that I was up there. I was at an incline, kind of like how you are when you have an ultrasound. So I wasn't laying down flat on my back, but I was laying there, and the girl started massaging my shoulders right here, which, by the way, she absolutely was phenomenal. She did nothing wrong. She was a great massage therapist. This is all on me. When she started massaging me, I passed out, and I was probably out for maybe 15 seconds, if that. I woke up and I realized that I passed out, because I feel like sometimes when you like if you passed out before, you think that you would just fall asleep. And I was like, okay, I'm getting a massage. Maybe I just fell asleep for a couple minutes, and it felt like only 15 seconds, but really I was asleep for like 10 minutes. So when I woke up, I was like, did I just pass out? And she was like, yeah, are you, like, she looked really concerned, and she was like, yeah, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm fine. I think it was just like, you know, something random. Don't worry about it. Like, we can keep going. You're totally fine. And then I passed out again. And the second time that I passed out, I started shaking and like seizing and convulsing and all of that stuff. And I guess it really scared the girl, which I can totally understand. And when I woke up, like, the sheet was off me, which I wasn't wearing a bra or anything. So she saw my boobs, which was fantastic. I'm sure she wanted to be flashed at her day at work that day. So the sheet fell off me, and I woke up and I was covered in sweat, and I was like, okay, I definitely passed out that time. And she was like, yeah, we're not gonna finish this massage because like that was really scary. Is that normal for you to do that? And da 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 da. So we ended the massage. I went up there at like 12:05. We were back downstairs, like me back down sitting in the locker room area at 12:17. And I called Johnny and I called my mom and I told them what happened. And I just kind of like chilled out for a couple minutes, and then I had some lunch. And while I was eating lunch, I called the doctor and the hospital, and they were both just kind of like, well, I don't know, that sounds uncommon. You can come in if you want to, but if you feel okay now and baby's moving, then those are good signs, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. So they didn't really give me an answer on whether I needed to go into the hospital at triage to get checked out or not. So in my head, I was just like, you know what, let's just go, because I'd rather go in and make sure everything is okay than to not go in and find out something is wrong. So after that, I took a shower, and we ended up going to the hospital, and we were there for like 3 hours because they took forever doing everything. Like, I had an EKG, they took my blood, I had the baby monitors on my belly, they did a urine sample and all this stuff, and it just like all of the tests that they were doing and like the waiting period between getting the results took forever. So we were there from 2:45 until almost 6 o'clock at night, and we were supposed to be hanging out at the hotel the whole time this was happening. So it was a little bit frustrating, but to wrap up this whole entire story, they basically said everything is fine and that I was just a little bit dehydrated, and I honestly think the only reason that I seemed dehydrated based off of my urine sample was because I had been sitting in the hospital for 3 hours without any water at all, waiting for them to like give me the test results and stuff like that. Because normally I'm drinking water all day, every day. I drink almost an entire gallon of water every single day, if not more. The reason that I passed out, one, I am someone that normally, I shouldn't say normally, but I've passed out before. I've passed out several times in my life. I'm just someone that it happens to for whatever reason. But something similar to this happened when I was pregnant with Anastasia. When I was getting an ultrasound, I ended up passing out, and the same exact thing happened. I was shaking, and all of that mess was going on. So the fact that I have a predisposition to passing out already was definitely a contributing factor to that. On top of that, I am slightly anemic, so that also puts me more at risk of passing out. And then 3, because I think it was because I was laying at a little bit of an incline. Like I wasn't flat on my back at all, but because of the way I was laying, I think it was just the baby pushing down on like that main blood vessel or vein or whatever it is that kind of like cut off the circulation to my brain, which caused me to pass out. So those are the reasons that I ended up passing out and I had to go to the hospital and all of that. It was a mess and it was super frustrating, but luckily, like once we got to the hotel and once we were finally in our room and ate dinner and everything like that, like it was much better, and we had a really good time on our little mini baby moon because we just stayed one night. But I'm so glad that we got to do anything at all. So that's the whole story behind why I went to the hospital and why I passed out. And then the next thing is that over the past week, I have experienced like 2 or 3 real contractions. And I have been having Braxton Hicks contractions since about 20 weeks. And I had Braxton Hicks with my daughter as well, so they're not anything new to me. They started a little bit earlier this time around, but it's not anything new. Like I know what a Braxton Hicks feels like. I have noticed that there have been a handful of times over the past week where I feel like I'm having period cramps, which is basically what a contraction feels like. For me, when I get contractions, they don't feel like Braxton Hicks. Like my stomach doesn't tighten up into like a ball and look all weird like it does with a Braxton Hicks. It just feels like period cramps. And I noticed that there was a handful of times, like I said, where that's what I was feeling. And my stomach wasn't all tight or anything like that, but it was just like, okay, this feels like the early like stages of having contractions. And it wasn't like a lightning crotch type feeling like I've had before. It was, I felt like I was like seriously on my period for anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds. Luckily, they're not anywhere near consistent at all, and I haven't had more than like 2 in a whole entire day, so I'm not worried about them at all. I know that when you have had a baby before, things start moving a little more quickly usually with every subsequent pregnancy, so I'm not concerned about it really. It's just something that I happen to notice over the past week or so, and I haven't had one in like 2 days, I think, so not worried about it, but it's something that I definitely have like taken note of in my head. And the last big thing that happened this past week was that we just had our 32-week checkup, because we have our checkups like a couple days early before I actually turn over whatever week I am, because I turn over on Saturdays. So we had that on Thursday, and my blood pressure was great, my everything was perfect and all of that good stuff. And honestly, I feel like it could have been like, it was like a checkup that could have been done over the phone, because we actually talked to the doctor for maybe 2 whole minutes. She just asked how I was feeling, how I was doing, anything crazy happened. She went over the paperwork from triage at the hospital and said everything was fine, and just told me to keep an eye out for any other weird things that happen like that. And that was basically it. So nothing crazy happened at our 32-week checkup. The next appointment we have is going to be another just kind of like, I don't want to say lame, but just kind of like a boring appointment. But our 36-week checkup in 3.5 weeks, that's when we're gonna get an ultrasound. And then they're also gonna check me for the first time to see if there's any kind of dilation, which I'm really interested to hear about, because I have been having a couple of contractions here or there. So I'm interested to see if if I've dilated at all from that. I doubt that I have, but I'm excited for that appointment to see the ultrasound and kind of get an idea of how much he's gonna weigh and get everything kind of planned out and just get ready to have this baby. And the very last thing that I will say, it's not really a symptom or anything that's happened, but for whatever reason, I personally have been having this like anxiety about him being born early. And this is 100% an end of pregnancy like symptom thing that I feel like almost every woman goes through. It's like once you hit like 30, 32 weeks, you start thinking, oh my God, the baby's gonna come early and I'm not prepared for anything. Like, and on top of the fact that you just wanna be done being pregnant, I feel like everybody thinks their baby is coming early and they try and find any symptom or sign that that's actually true. That has been happening to me. I know 99.9% chance that is not gonna happen, and I will probably be just fine and go all the way up to 39 and a half weeks or whatever we have this baby at. But for whatever reason, in my mind, the number 35 weeks keeps sticking out, and I keep thinking that I am not gonna have everything together at 35 weeks, because at 35 weeks pregnant exactly is the day before our baby shower. And I'm really looking forward to our baby shower because I want to experience that and enjoy that, but I turned 35 weeks the day before. So I'm really hoping that this is just me being a crazy pregnant person and thinking that I'm gonna go into labor at 35 weeks, which is Probably not gonna happen, but that has been something that has been on my mind so much lately. So anyways, that is how I am feeling and doing at 32 weeks pregnant and everything that has gone on over the past couple of weeks. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know how far along you are, or any symptoms or signs of labor that you're having, or anything like that down in the comments below if you are also expecting. Don't forget to stick around for the last little bit to see my 32-week belly shot. And if you did like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.
Never thought it'd be easy to feel you in my arms, but now we're here and I'm all in, and I wonder about you, 'cause I can stay till the morning or stay till the dawn, but just hold me now. I wanna be so much better whenever you're around. I wanna say something clever to get in your mind, 'cause right now we're not together and I lose my way then. Oh, I feel so much better whenever you're around, whenever you're around. Yeah, yeah.